So right now we're just looking at the music festival, and we want to make sure it's running smoothly. So after like possibly a year or two, we're considering.
Welcome to Metaverse Degen. I'm Lion. No Rap today is currently with family, but we're here joined by our wonderful friends. Who are you?
Hi, I'm Moomy,
I'm Scoot.
Oh, well,
and
thank
we're
you.
with Weaboo Weekend.
Oh, well, thank you for joining us. We're glad to have one face back and a new one. What is Weaboo Weekend? And what got both of you started in Vrchat, and what got Weaboo Weekend started?
So Weaboo Weekend is a free to attend charity event in February. We host it here on Vrchat. Its main goal is to help celebrate the vibrant worlds of anime, gaming, and comics. And we raise for charity. This coming year, we're going to be raising for the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. Anything you want to add?
It's a great project. I think you covered it better than I could.
Oh, well, then what got you into Vrchat, and what started Weaboo Weekend?
So back in 2022, I happened to join a community called Drunken Stupid, and within 6 months, I found myself like leading their event management team, which was a shock to me. And I found I really, really like event management, and I love charity and all that. So it was like 2024. I ended up eventually like joining some other communities and doing some events for them, doing some of my own little one-offs. And I noticed that at least in the music scene, there's not much that celebrates the anime, gaming, and comic kind of music scene. So I wanted to start up Weaboo Weekend.
Oh, so what is going to be happening on Weaboo Weekend, and how is this? What is people look forward to in the event?
So we're looking at right now. We're looking at an estimate of 3 days at 7 hours each day, and we're actively scouting for DJs right now. Kind of fit the bill who like to spin up some like anime music, comic themed stuff, and video game stuff, and anything adjacent. So, like some people like Tatsu tracks, for example. Plugging my homie there. Another one I saw recently was Rob Roman. He would be perfect. But yeah.
Oh, okay. So how is things like Weebly Weekend different from what you were doing at Drunken Stupid when you're running their event management team? What was in between those 2 points?
So we're Drunken Stupid, now known as Delirium, is more of like a social group. So we would do like game nights and karaoke. We would have some nights where we would work with DJs as well. And thanks to my good friend Gearbolt and Scoot here, they got us involved in Gearfest, and from there between that and like Ferality and attending an actual IRL convention, I got a taste of larger scale events and really, really wanted to get more involved with them and like be part of a larger cause.
Oh, so may I ask from your side, Scoot, with Weebly Weekend, how did you get involved with everything?
I've known Moomy for a long time. Again, from when I think I actually first met them at the first Gear Fest when Drunken Stupid had come through, and in retrospect, they were one of the most effective teams there. We didn't have any expectations. I wasn't in the framework of Gear Fest yet. Ministry was just kind of starting out on their first year, and we were involved. And every event, you kind of like have a name that you want to lean on that ends up not being as reliable, and then someone who you put no eggs in their basket and they pull through, and that was Drunken Stupid, right? Because a team named Drunken Stupid, or was it Drunks and Stoners? whatever the
Drunk and
original name
Stupid.
was. Yeah. They were at the door, they were at the stage, and they were in between greeting people, moderating avatars. We didn't ask them to do any of that, and they did that for all 3 days. And that stood out. So I ended up trying to get closer with them, became friends with Lanu and Moomy, and ever since, Moomy has been a bird in my ear, helping me with leads and offering to staff and provide networking for all different types of projects. And they invited me to come check out Weaboo Weekend in their server a while back. I don't remember the exact dates, but they invited Ministry to come dance and run a little bit of light promotions, and so that's what we did. And it blew up. It was a lot of fun. Everyone had a blast. A lot of the attendees asked, when's the next one? A lot of the dancers were like, when are we coming back? And so when Moomy was like, "Hey, Scoot, you want to come help me do some more of the logistics and blah 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 blah," I was like, "Yeah, absolutely." Do I know exactly what that means? Nope, not yet. But that's kind of how I got involved with Weaboo Weekend, is to support Moomy and their vision, which is a good one.
So how long has Weeaboo Weekend been around? Because I'm surprised of all places VRChat doesn't have a like anime comic gaming nod any or as big as something like an event what you're running.
Yeah. So there are some that kind of touch into it, like like Sanrio Fest, for example. Like they touch on anime, and they have their own little. I believe they have their own little music festival there as well. I've not personally attended Sanrio Fest, but the big thing with Sanrio Fest is they only focus on their brands, not the actual community at large.
Mm.
Now, there could be, I could be totally wrong. There could be an event out there that I'm completely missing out on that, that does do it. So I might not be the first, but to the best of my knowledge, this might be the first. So we did start in February of this year. We ran a pilot event, which I reached out to Scoot, I believe, probably, I want to say January or December. A little pilot
a little bit
event.
before Gear Fest, so yeah.
Yeah. I had been talking about it like a year prior with my buddy Tatsu Trax, who spins that kind of stuff. And he was like, "This sounds like a cool idea," and I was just waiting for the right time to do it. And so when the time arose, we threw together like a team of like a small knit team of experts just to get like a normal pilot event going, and we just ran it as a pilot event, and it was incredible. I've never packed out an instance within the 30 minutes. I was flabbergasted. It was like 2 or 3 times larger than what Tatsu and I thought it would be.
Oh wow.
And the only promotion we did was the VRC timeline. Check it out if you don't know what it is. You can keep up to date with a lot of events on there. And I posted on my own personal Twitter. It's the only promotion I did.
Oh wow. Cool. So from that
Yeah.
first event, what did you learn from running the pilot, and how are you going to be running the next one differently based on what you learned?
Honestly, I'm gonna be running it pretty similarly, just a more large scale because we're going for a larger project now. So we've got like we got different departments to help manage different things, such as like a promotions team. We've got a DJ team and design team to like handle like the graphics and whatnot, stuff like that. One cool thing we also got is an ambassador team, which we're currently working on.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so we can work with influential people in the scene, so they can help promote us, and we can help promote them.
So what made you want to start the ambassador team? What sprouted that?
Well, I do VTubing. I always thought VTubing agencies were kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie. To have like, your own like little gen mates that you can do cool stuff together with, and be a team. And on top of that, I took the creative inspiration from Vrchat, honestly. They know how to run their stuff. I looked at several different conventions and music festivals, and I'm like, well, I like how they do this. I like how they do that. Let's put these different ideas together, maybe tweak them a little, and put our own thing together.
Okay. Cool. So what were some of the highlights from the pilot that you remember most? What about it made you want to pursue and continue?
Honestly, the turnout was amazing, and like this man, it was only the second time I've ever heard this man walk up to me and tell me how proud he is of me. Um, both times have made me cry. um, just seeing like the community come together, like in celebration of like anime and comics, like seeing people there. There's like some photos, I believe actually going to be at our booth in Project Community. That I think there's one photo of these people hanging out, and they're all in Gundam avatars. There was like we got raided by a mob of Hatsune Mikus. It was great. There's even a Hatsune Miku dancing up on the deck.
Cool. So I'm gonna ask both of you a question. I think it's pertinent with the subject. What are some of your favorite anime, video games, and comics?
I want to hear you first.
Me?
I've never heard you talk about anime.
So all right, I'm not. All right, so on the playground, I'd get made fun of for being a weeb, but around weebs, I'd be an outcast, right? So my entire entry and exit to anime has and always will probably be old school Adult Swim on Saturday nights.
Fair.
And then chasing down the animes that you kind of like wake up in the middle of the night and you kind of watch and like, what is this magical thing that I'm looking at? And then you gotta go try to find it at the local library. So I mean, I'm in love with Ghost in the Shell. I gotta finish.
Ooh.
I forgot the name of it, but the one where she's younger.
Ooh.
I still haven't finished, and you can't tell me that Cyberpunk isn't just American Ghost in the Shell. I'll die on that hill.
Ooh.
Oh,
Inuyasha was a huge one for me because I'd wake up and the intro is an outro instead, which was wild, and like I this higher level advanced animation next to like my young mind watching like Pokemon and Digimon and stuff like that, and it was in Japanese. A kid who only speaks one language, so like it was just really romanticized for me. Cowboy Bebop, Fooly Cooly,
Ooh.
stuff like that.
Okay.
Those are the
Yeah,
good
for
ones.
me,
Yu Yu Hakusho, yeah.
for me,
Alright.
I got into anime and manga because one of my sisters growing up really liked Dragon Ball Z, Bleach, and Death Note.
Bleach was
She was edgy. My sister was very edgy. um, and I was always like fascinated, like, what is this? Wow, this is cool. Eventually, when I got into middle school, I went to my local library where I actually had a proper local library for like the small little rural area I lived in. And I started reading manga. I couldn't tell you what I was reading back then, but I know I first got into like Naruto. Yeah, I know. That was one of those kids. I would Naruto run. Dude, I was hardcore weeb. I would Naruto run with my friends. The first anime that I truly fell in love with though was Eureka 7, which surprisingly not a lot of people know about.
what
It
is
had
it?
like 3 or
I've
4
never heard
seasons.
of it.
It was really good.
Didn't that air on Adult Swim for a bit?
I
That
think
sounds
it
familiar.
did.
That
think
that
it
was one
did.
of those like offshoot like would be at like 1:30 in between two other things like you'd be
Yeah,
looking for.
it followed this boy who fell in love with this girl that were like a group of essentially like future day pirates, and they would pilot these mechs against the military. And to be fair, forgive me guys, it's been a while since I've watched it. These mechs would fly on these hoverboards like it was freaking Sonic Riders. And there was a deeper overarching story. I don't remember. It was very long ago that I watched it. And I tried going back and watching it, but I got distracted with Made in Abyss when it came out. And that took over my favorite. My top 3 right now are hands down got to be Made in Abyss, Freren, and My Hero Academia.
Oh,
You know, you just reminded me. You know what was really good when I first saw it? But probably because it had that like midnight fog to it. But when I went back to it later, in my later years, I was really underwhelmed. Trinity Blood. Remember that one?
Blood. I don't remember that one.
I don't know that one either.
Hot nuns and vampires, but they're edgelord and not sexual.
Oh,
It's just really
yes,
strong animation
yes.
styles.
Actually, you know what? No, I do remember hearing about this one. I never watched it, but I heard about all about it. I was too young to watch it.
Yeah, it was definitely one of those. I don't know, like it wasn't like a perverted one, but like it was definitely like, you know, the animation style was there. Like if someone's tied up like this, like you're seeing everything.
Hmm.
Ah. Oh.
I'm actually rewatching Made in Abyss right now
Oh,
with
really?
one of my communities. Yeah,
Oh. Did you
it's
actually
such a
Greatest
beautiful
anime of all
anime.
time is King of the Hill, though.
I have a fun fact about Made in Abyss that may interest you. Being around for Frality, it's something interesting is the guy who made Made in Abyss saw the VRChat Nanachi avatars and thought it was so cool that they're canon.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's actually, dude, that's so cool.
sick.
That's so cool.
Oh.
That's amazing.
So during the time that Weeboo Weekend will be running, what are the events people can attend that you're hoping to do, may I ask?
So right now we're just looking at the music festival, and we want to make sure it's running smoothly. So after like possibly a year or two, we're considering expanding into a convention. Or currently, just during the music festival, it will be just the music festival.
Mm.
Now, I want to reach out to various communities to maybe do little raids. Like I want to reach out to like the LPD, for example, and see if maybe they'll jump in and raid us and do like a little skit. That like I think that would be cool. That would be fun. It would fit it. It would be, oh, dude, that would be so cool. Funnily enough, I just ran into you at Helldivers of VRC.
Mm-hmm.
They're another group I was considering reaching out to and seeing if maybe they'd be interested in like collaborating for something like that. If we expand into a convention, again, you know, I've mentioned this to you before. Expectations can change. Maybe we need some more time. Maybe we realize it's, you know, above our, you know, our expertise, which I think Scoot and I, and maybe we toss another director on it at some point. I think we could get anything done. I'm pretty confident in our skills. But hypothetically, if we did go into a convention, I would love to work with like maybe a group like a Maid Cafe who could like run a little side event that people can go to and experience a Maid Cafe on VRChat, or even a goofier idea. Maybe some people get in cat avatars and they run a cat cafe. You know?
Okay.
Cats.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh.
Or even even the Helldiver Corps could like run people through like a boot camp, a Helldiver boot camp.
That'd be really
I'm sure
good.
they'd love
That'd be a
that.
lot of fun.
Yeah.
From
You
what
know, you could even tie something in with like Mighty Gym if they were available. Be like, hey, you guys want to make
Yeah.
like a fitness thing out? Like, you want to like really like go in on this? That'd be really good for engagement.
Ooh,
That'd be a lot
yeah.
of fun.
VRD, get with the VRD and do like a dance
Mhm.
session with just anime music and like
One
J-pop.
thing I want to point this out, if I may. So, Mumi clearly has like a really strong vision in mind, and they're trying really hard to stay realistic. But they're really good at underselling just how charismatic they are about their projects. And there's a lot of people already interested in this.
Yeah.
If anyone wants
Shut
to
up.
reach out, but they're like, well, I want to wait until maybe they have less on their plate. Don't hit one of us up sooner, because those resources can probably
100%.
be used. The expectation would be like a year or two out there explaining to me, but before we actually because I wanted to touch base with them before hopping in, I pointed out that like if the stars align and you end up with like a free ticket to a con, right, and your lanyard has a sticker someone asks about, now some VTubers interviewing you about something, like you just, like sometimes a hop, skip, and a jump is all it takes. Now something that you were planning 2 years out is happening in 8 months, and you're not really breaking a sweat. So we're definitely open to hearing from any group that wants to be involved or has, even if it sounds like it doesn't make sense, still tell us about it, because we can probably make it make sense.
I do tell this to a lot of people who are like I catch wind of them being like interested in something I'm doing. I tell people all the time, like, dude, I may be a really busy person, but if somebody wants to talk to me about something, 100% I will always set a time like set aside time for them, and if they want to talk to me, that time is for them and them alone.
Mm.
100%.
It's kind of funny how that works. Like a lot of people
Yeah.
think like event organizers are super busy, and like we are, but we're busy because we're available for these things, right? So like,
Yeah,
Hmm. Okay.
exactly.
Cool.
And like maybe somebody approaches me with something or an idea, and I'm like, I just can't feasibly do that, or I don't have the time to do that. It will happen, but very often, if the idea is good, or maybe it needs a little hashing out, I'll sit there and be like, yeah, like let's figure this out. Let's do this. Hell yeah, let's go.
Hmm. So,
hmm
have there been any people that have come forward so far since the idea sprouted?
I had one group that I met actually at Project Community in the past month who they asked me if I wanted to be an ambassador in their community, and they said I get a little channel where I can promote my stuff, and I'm not 100% sure. I have to talk with them and know what I'd be promoting back, because anybody who like I'm partnering with, it's not it's not a one lane road. It's a 2 lane road. If they're sponsoring me, I'm gonna sponsor them. Otherwise, it's not very fair, in my opinion.
Hmm.
Everybody gets credit where it's due.
Okay.
So, but I have to check with them. Like, are they wanting to like partner up with them with Weaboo Weekend, or are they wanting to partner up with my other community, which I use for my streaming? I would love to do both, honestly, if they're down.
Okay. I have another question as well. What made you want to start with a music festival versus attempting the convention? Which idea started first before the evolution?
Um, it's simple. It's what I know best.
Hmm.
Honestly, it's pretty simple. I know Scoot's even more well versed in music festivals than I am. Um, little does this man know I've been like shadowing him since the day I met him. I've been watching everything he does to the point where I'm almost a stalker, because this man knows a lot, and I've wanted to. He's been my main mentor, whether he's known it or not.
Wow.
Oh.
Glaze. I can't breathe.
So I figured it would be best there, and from there I can like maybe meet some more people, do some networking and learn more about how to do conventions. So, because I'm a person who, like, if I want to do a project, especially if it's large scale, I want to do it clean. I want to do it clean. I don't want, I want to avoid hiccups and fumbling, because especially if it's a first impression, the first impressions are everything, so I want to make sure it's done well. Sure, there's probably going to be some hiccups here and there. It's damn near unavoidable.
We want to see every DJ late. We want the streams to crash. If we don't
Yes.
have one logo that's the wrong color and someone tweaking out in the middle of the floor, it's not a successful event.
We
need headaches.
yes.
Kidding.
So
We want it to be only like 5 people in the instance.
Yeah. We want 80 confused people in an instance in the wrong world.
what do you anticipate would be to get Weaboo Weekend on its feet to where you wish it to be? What are you kind of expecting with starting this venture?
I would love to see it go as well as GearFest did on its 3rd year this year. I would love to see it go that well. I imagine it, there might be a hiccup there or two, as we figure things out, because it's my first time going into directing a music festival, but again, I've learned from the best.
Something to remember, that there's no such thing as an event that goes well, whether we're talking about small events or big events. Like, it can feel like they went well because we did such a good job on them, but every single event, from having 4 DJs in your club with some video links to having a multi-instance sponsored event, there's going to be things that are going to go wrong every time.
Yep.
And it's not about how many things didn't go wrong, it's about how you kept your composure and dealt with it on the spot. Anyone who says this event went perfect is just saying you did such a good job with that first aid box. I'm proud of you, right?
honestly, I couldn't have said it better.
Okay. So a
Yep.
question for both of you then, since both of you do event organization, what have been some of the, I guess, bumps in the road that have come across your path, and how did you circumvent that issue at the time and give the first aid to the issue?
Go for it. You know more.
Oh my! I mean,
You've
just
been
pick
around
one.
longer than me, boy.
Um. No, you go first. You're the boss.
Oh,
I'm not the one in charge this time. Lead the
Oh.
way, Captain.
God, this feels weird being in charge of you. Normally, I'm under you. Some things I've seen are like, and I'm glad. This is actually one big thing that I really like seeing is people getting really, really like. I give them credit; they're passionate about, I like my motto. I want to use my motto, but I really liked seeing how people are getting better about, like, if you go to an optimized event, just not fighting, just being like, yeah, man, I really want to be here. This is really cool. That was like the biggest bump in the road that I used to see. It's so much better now. People used to be really passionate and fight you on switching.
Actually, that's a good example.
Yeah.
Something that I've been trying to encourage a lot more people to do, especially now that we have the Avatar Marketplace up. And if we're talking about a Quest world or a PC world, it takes nothing is free in the world of optimizing, except putting a link into a pedestal. That is 100% free. I do not care. Like, obviously there's like that little like smidge in the chipset, but like no. So when you have a world that you want to have optimized avatars through it, one thing that you can do is work with creators and say, hey, I'm gonna have this high trafficked event. Can I put one of your demos up? And obviously they got to give you permission, but then what they get is an opportunity for more people to click on their avatar and look at their storefront. And what you get is your moderation team doesn't have to go, well, change your avatar. I don't know what to tell you. They can say, oh, well, actually, we have some options on the wall. These are made by these people. They're well known in the space, blah, blah, blah. And the ecosystem continues to churn. That was one thing was overcoming what Mumi was just describing, is people complaining about optimized events, while also complaining about lag, while also complaining about music and crowd management, but then they don't want to change avatars, but then they do for good reason, right? Like, well, I've never seen a green avatar that looks good, right?
Honestly, I'm like the biggest advocate of optimized events. Like, honestly, like if I'm doing event photography, an optimized event, if it's full of 80 people, albeit granted I have a pretty powerful PC, but if it's an optimized event and it's a full instance, I can show that whole instance. It's to even be able to do that on a powerful PC, like, surprises me. It's very comfortable.
System so I could run renders next to streaming while I'm in VR. So I have a 7950X3D, a 4090, M.2 that reads and writes at 10K sequential. The thing's super tuned. It's really nice. But if I have a choice between filming in a poor or better instance or one where even 20 very poors are allowed, I'm going to go to that poor or better 100% of the time, because I'm going to get more frames. I'm going to have more people showing. I'm going to see less imposters. Even if I force show everyone, it doesn't matter if you have like a 9590 X3D. It doesn't matter if we jump forward a little bit. IKs are still IKs, and that's not a limitation of VRChat or Unity. That's networking, and having that much less traffic going through so you can get those frames. That's, if you have a media presence, you should want to optimize your event.
Okay.
I think the other big hiccup I saw, and it wasn't so much of a hiccup, it was more of getting people on board and communicating with them and be like, hey, this is why this is the way it is. And that's 13 plus events like GearFest and like Weaboo Weekend. We want more people to be able to come in, and we want to be able to partner with brands for this, because that brings more eyes on the brands, and that also brings more eyes on charity. And that was like, God, I know I didn't really have to deal with it much, but you went through a massive headache with that.
So it's funny you mentioned that with GearFest. So Ministry itself, not to turn gears, but pun. We want to see the scene do better tomorrow because of today, right? Just to put it simple. And there's a lot of communities that are age gating for the right reasons, the wrong ways, or for the wrong reasons, the right way, or they're just creating fatigue, right? And you would a hard pill to swallow for a lot of communities is kids probably don't want to get into your instance. And if one shows up, they will make themselves known and find a way to be removed. When you're working with developing anything, right, in any market, whether you're marketing to kids or not, having any type of, if you have NSFW 18 plus flashing in red lights because beer was mentioned, you're going to run into problems where people aren't going to ask, well, why is it 18 plus? And you're going to go, oh, beer is mentioned. And they're going to go, that makes sense. And then, continue the conversation. They're going to see those flashing lights. And you're going to see, labels get spooked. You're going to see brands get spooked. You're going to see artists get spooked because they don't know you. They don't know why you have that. And they know that this space exists as basically the 3D internet that you can step into. And so right off the rip, it's a challenge. But at the same time, when you're an 18 plus community in Vrchat, it is not up to anyone else besides you to moderate your instances, especially now that we have all the tools we have. Even before we had these tools, this was my take, is that if you're existing in a 13 plus space as an 18 plus entity, there should be nothing capable of chinking your armor. Whether you're at a festival, whether you're at, whether it be a music fest, a content creation fest, whether you're working with a brand, working in private, doing something lewd, doing something not lewd, whatever the case is, where you are should not, shake that integrity. If that's a problem, then we're not talking about what the event's going to do to your brand or your community. We have to talk about how you're moderating. And usually that conversation ends with some improvements and whatnot, or ends in, hey, this is a bad fit, we'll come back later. And what was cool about GearFest and a lot of these events that happened last year is it was an opportunity to grab these communities that said, man, I really want to grow. I really want to become like more, more palatable to more different types of communities and types of people that aren't from, my circles or my chemistry or my culture. And they came to GearFest and said, okay, well, I'm an 18 plus entity and I never planned to run a 13 plus instance. Can I exist here? And a lot of them swallowed the pill and did that. No one had a single issue at GearFest. No one had a single issue at New Year's. No one ever has any issues at any VCAT ever. And you do not see VCAT putting 18 plus up on stuff. They're not marketing directly to kids. And go to a World Hop any Wednesday. Go talk to Lun and see if you can spot kids running around. There's not. I'm not saying one doesn't show up or two. He gets on with his family, with his wife and his daughter, sometimes, and that's really cool. And that dynamic I think is sick. But signaling that to communities is really important for promotion, because regardless of what your intent to do in the future is, if you're beating your chest demanding that the world around you conform to any political view, especially if it has to do with age gating, but you are not checking your T's or crossing your boxes, you're acting as repellent, not just for you but for all of us as a whole. Ooh.
Sorry, apparently I wanted to sit on your lap.
I forgot how we got here, but that's a really good because GearFest allowed us to kind of like put a carrot in front of a lot of communities and go, hey, you don't have to do this, but can you do it here? And a lot of the communities that came and did it walked away stronger and with better dialogue options when they joined new conversations with other 18 plus groups, because now they know where they stand as an 18 plus group. And I think that's really important.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I know with GearFest, like the big thing with GearFest was like setting aside that 18 plus label to come together for something bigger, for charity, and rallying the community together to do a big cause. And that's what I want to do with Weaboo Weekend as well.
So how is I have a few questions, but I'll lead with the most recent topic of charity. How is running an event for charity different from a regular event in VRChat? Does crowd management do differently? Are they similar? Hello, I'm actually here to interrupt the episode you're watching really quick to ask you a favor. Please come join us at any of the other locations we have. You can find us on YouTube and Spotify, both of which we post our episodes and are very up to date on both. We have Discord where you go to hang out all the time, where you're gaming and shooting the breeze over with many people over that way. Feel free to come join us. I invite you. If you wish to support us, we have a Patreon where we post a bunch of random bits, bobs, and extra podcast every once in a while for you to go enjoy. Also, if you wish to support us while in Vrchat, we're now part of the creator economy. So please come join if you wish to support us there. It's there for you to choose if you so wish. And thank you very much. And a special thanks to some of the people who have signed up on our Patreon, which are as follows, and I have written down so I'll remember. And that's a tough thing. Forbidden Zero, Niche, Aliquum, Future Oracle, Lesser Capybara, and Frozen. Thank you all very much. Enjoy the rest of the episode.
I mean, he might have a different viewpoint on this, so I'd love to hear from
I
him
knew
as
you were gonna
well.
point at me.
For me, from what I've seen, it's not much different. It's just the promotion side of things promotes the charity as well. There's a big push for the
Pipelines.
charity. Yeah, and as for like organizing the event, it's my first time doing like other than assistant directing for GearFest. I didn't handle the charity side of things. This would technically be my first charity event that I am actually directing. But so far everything is just as normal as like a normal music festival, with the side of, hey, by the way, we're promoting this. We're promoting charity.
Okay.
I'd love to hear your view on that.
So in practice, right? Like the vibe's the same. It's kind of like anything else. Like, yo, join our Discord or look at this charity, right? No one's putting a gun to anyone's head to do anything. But what's interesting about a charity event versus a normal event is it's a double-edged sword, right? So you have this cool mission that you can talk to people about and say, hey, we believe in this and we know you do too. So if you're available, the link's on the wall and then the conversation moves forward. It's an excuse to talk about your event. So it can bring a lot of positive attention to your mission and your community. You also don't want it to become a fatigue, right? You don't want to like make it too much of the focus, because then like people are gonna like be like, well, I don't want to go because I'm gonna feel bad. I don't have like $5-10 to spend, and like we don't want that, right? Like no matter what project we're talking about. So it differs in that regard, but if you take the weight off of it from like the stigma of like ooh charity or ooh thing, like whatever thing is, be it sponsor, charity, famous DJ, or private whatever. Charity shouldn't add any more weight to your event than, hey, join our group.
Yeah.
Because 9 out of 10 times those people are going to join. They're going to boost your server. They're going to subscribe to you on Twitch. You're not going to ask them to do any of that stuff. They're going to say, this is cool. And you're going to have someone drop $500 worth of VRChat Plus in your instance because they're, just feeling it, right?
Technicalist.
Yeah. It shouldn't change anything, but the pipelines physically, the focus changes a little bit. You get a few more things to talk about and you have a few more pain points to worry about, but it's nothing significant in compared to, hey, join our Discord.
I think the only beyond that, the only thing it really adds is if you are doing like what GearFest does and what I'm trying to do, and that's like have rewards for like how much you donate, or have like I think the Faceless does a really, really cool thing, and they actually have a charity auction. So like they get asset creators are like get together with them, and they're like, I'll give these discounts. Or like there was one at their last one where a person was like, all of my assets are free for life.
Oh wow.
And that was a really cool one.
Actually, we had
they also work with
something
artists
like
as
that.
well.
They didn't do it for life, but they said, hey, if you donate $200, you get the keys to my store. And five people actually did that, and
That's actually
they
really
got
cool.
access to like 13 avatars and an insane amount of assets. And for those who aren't familiar with serpent. I'm so dyslexic. Saints of Serpents. There we go. They just released the Manticore avatar you see a lot of people wearing. that was a promotion that they ran on GearFest. And so like Moomy was saying, like you could have like a small time creator be like, hey, I made this little keychain and put a logo on it, and if you donate $5, you get this, and we'll put your name on it, right? Or you get something like a creator being like, well, I want to take the week off from marketing, and I'm just gonna like give a bunch of discounts and free stuff if they donate. Just don't donate anonymously, and we'll cross-reference it and give you a code.
I mean,
Going back to the thing a moment ago, actually, that's an additional pipeline where, because you have this fundraiser, you can now work to generate revenue for creators in the scene without asking for a dime to go to their store. So they get that traffic. You also get incentive to donate. You feel like you get to be a part of something. You get something cool. Ooh, but then you also got to kind of make sure that you're being fair between creators. And again, it's a double-edged sword. So it doesn't really change. Yeah, sorry. I'm going to talk too much, Lamel.
Oh no, how terrible. You're on a podcast where I'm asking you to talk. Don't do that.
I think that's exactly what Rob said when you said the same thing on his.
Well, may I ask another question as well? What made you choose the charity for Weaboo Weekend for the coming event?
So, I mean, each year it could change. Right now, I chose the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention because I'm a VTuber and people can donate their money to me. And I encourage them to donate to charity as well because I'm actually a charity streamer. I tell people, it said, you see that little subscribe button? Yeah, look 2 buttons over. Yeah, there's a giant charity button. It says charity, and all of those go to the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention because I've been through rough times. Nearly everybody's been through rough times, and I don't want to see another life lost in this world due to rough times. It really means a lot to me, and I don't take charity like lightly. I don't just pick and choose. I pick ones that matter to me, and then I will research those charities. I went through probably 20 or 30 different charities, like large major organization charities, before I chose which one I wanted to do, because I researched them. I'll research any scandals they had, any like bad press they've had, and stuff like that.
Big one for me is being able to see the money go to work. Nothing against Ronald McDonald Foundations, but they're so big that it's not that a drop in the bucket doesn't matter, but when trying to promote the difference being made, being able to point to things is very impactful. At GearFest, we did the Red Cross, and at the time we had the California wildfires. One of our, at the time, prefects, who's now a minister, actually flew out and made their own mini documentary. Several people that were performing, had a lot to say in there, and a lot of us were doing call center work. So we were actually able to see the money we raised go and do things. It was sick.
Wow.
That's one for me. That when I'm looking at charities is like, can I see the money go to work, or at least watch it enter the account that's gonna do work someday? Like, or is it just gonna be like, hey, thanks, thumbs up, see you $3,000 later? Like, you know what I mean?
So it's important to look into what you're donating to before you just slap on a name. Then I've never done charity work, so I wouldn't know.
Fair.
Oh, so how would you look into something like that for a charity, mask?
Honestly, you can like, if you're trying to research charities and like see if they've had any bad press or like scandals, you can quite literally, like, if you pick a charity and you can literally just go to Google, type it in, and be like scandals, put scandals afterwards, and there's like
keyword search.
yeah, there's dozens of websites that actually report on that, and I forget the name of the one that I really like, but it's something along the lines of like charity reports or something, and they just keep track of scandals and bad press that they've had. And I was shocked because a lot of large charities will come across a scandal or something, often will come across their table. I was shocked when I researched American Foundation Foundation for Suicide Prevention, because they are not small. They are big. And they're, dude, I don't know how many times they wiped after taking a crap, but like their toilet paper was clean the whole time.
Oh wow.
I was shocked.
They poop like an angel.
Yeah, they poop like an angel. Ninja poops.
Also, it's easy to look for negatives on anything. It's not even just specifically charities, and find a rabbit hole. Citation is important, but most at their cores, right? Like if we just want to kind of I was gonna say narcissist. What's the other word? Not be nihilist out a bit. It's please give me money. And how else can you say please give me money besides, hey, please give me money? These charities are going to make their own noise. They have their own promotions. They want to be found. And if they're comfortable being loud, right? If they have their hood open when you go to their garage so you can look at the motor, that's a good sign, right? Like it's a lot less scary than people think. The Ronald McDonald Foundation has done a lot of fantastic work, and I think that if you have, money to give them, you should. Do I want to pick them first? No, because of transparency. I'm a smaller influence, right? Like it's hard for me to rally people. A huge part of me being able to get you to donate is you saying, "Wow, Scoot, you believe in it, and I believe in it." But I only like that I believe in it because I probably told you about why I believe in it. So if I can't speak to that, I'm not going to be effective. But if you're looking for a charity, chances are if they're being loud and proud and they're not afraid to touch anything or be talked about by anyone within reason, of course, there's probably not much to find under the hood. It's really easy to vet charities. You will feel comfortable when you feel comfortable, and that's your best indicator.
Yeah, and what's even greater with some of these websites that report on charities and what goes on, because charities, I think it's actual law, like at least in the U.S., it's federal law that they have to be 100% transparent.
Yeah, there's all types of reporting things as nonprofits.
Yeah,
it's really scrutinous.
You can straight up see like on some of these report websites like what the executives are actually like taking a cut of, like how much they're much they're making annually,
what their salaries are and whatnot. And actually, you'd be surprised too, because when I was looking, and it still might happen someday soon, but I was thinking about making ministry a nonprofit, and somewhere in the literature, like before anything goes to anyone, in my state, I would be allowed to take $60,000 for a salary for myself. And when you see these things on these reports and they're taking like $5,000 or like $15,000 a year out of hundreds of thousands of dollars, it paints a clear picture, because these people are very social media present. You can go to their Instagrams, you can go to their Facebook, you can see them giving thumbs up. You can tell when a dude's wearing a button-up shirt with a shovel that he doesn't plan to dig with in front of the people digging, right? Like versus someone who's got the khakis, he's got the summer sweater, he's got the little name badge, he's covered in dirt, and he's smiling ear to ear because like, oh my god, someone with a camera, right? Like these things are gonna jump out at you and make it really easy to find transparency, whether you're looking at like Moomy just said, the stuff that they literally have listed as public information to their actual behaviors that match that.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's not to say like don't just like look at the negatives. Look at the positives that like a charity is doing as well, because that matters too. It's so easy to focus on the negative stuff and get lost in that sauce when you could be focusing on this sauce over here. That's like, hey, they do all this good stuff too.
Okay. So I have another question for you, at least you, Momi, as well, since you mentioned you're a charity streamer. What got you started doing that? And may I ask?
I actually met I was playing Binding of Isaac. I'm a big Binding of Isaac fan. And I rated Edage. He's a small time charity streamer for the Boys and Girls Club of America. And we started talking charity, and I was like, yeah, I'm thinking about running like a month where all of my like subscriptions and bits whatever I make off it, it goes to charity. And we started talking more and about it, and I just went, you know what? Especially with like how well that month turned out, I was like, I want to be a charity streamer. And the same goes now for like anybody who subscribes to my channel or donates me money.
Mm.
All of that money goes straight back into the channel. I'm like, until the day that I can't find a way to put all of the money that you guys give me back into the channel, that's a day where I'll consider taking some for myself, because at that point I won't know what the hell to put it into. But yeah.
Okay. And also with
Yeah.
some of the charities both of you have worked with through your events and stuff, do they know what you're doing to raise money for them, may I ask, or do they like not know anything at all?
Or sorry, the people who I stream to, or
Well,
like the people at
the
large?
charities, like both, either the charities themselves, whether
Oh.
you're streaming or
Mhm.
running a music event, do the people you're running charities for know that you're doing these things, or do they not know?
I've not actually set up the actual page for the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. So they're not aware yet. However, I do plan on reaching out to them. I actually have to reach out to one guy who's kind of the advocate between the charity and Twitch, for example, because we got to figure out how we can like have the logo up, because the word suicide, unfortunately, is like a red flag on Twitch. They don't want you saying the word. They don't want that word on screen at all. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I've got to speak with that advocate about it and see how we can go about doing it. Because I've kind of had to use words other than suicide when I'm on stream and I'm trying to promote it. Because otherwise Twitch will be like, oh, we're gonna shadow ban you. It's kind of sad, because it's one of their official charities and their charity options on Twitch.
Interesting. I'm sorry they have to go through that, and that's something that happens. Yeah. With GearFest, Matt, did the Red Cross know that you were raising stuff for them?
Yes and no. So the Red Cross, drop in the bucket, had no idea. Someone might have saw the logo scrolling on one of their internal pages. I was at the time doing a bit of work as a remote call center rep for disaster dispatch and like resources and whatnot. And I did communicate it to my leads, and they gave me pipelines to try to reach out to. So the fact that we raised, what was it, $5,400, did get to a lot of people, create motivation, and kind of like spur some action, like, yeah, you know. But there wasn't like we weren't lucky enough to get a Red Cross representative to come to the event or anything like that. On the other hand, previous GearFest was done by Fight for the Forgotten. I forgot the guy's name, but he's basically an ex-MMA fighter who, became a Christian and, traveled the world. He had some dream, and he met these people in the stream. Then he met them IRL, which was the Pygmy people, and he's been fighting to get them back their land and get them water and schools and wells, and I think he's built 12 wells for them across their countryside. And he has done direct interviews, and he has directly thanked Gearbolt, and talked to him personally one-on-one as well. So it's case by case. It does happen sometimes. It's you'll see a community, especially in VR. They'll because a lot of communities in VR chat don't translate to logistics IRL and vice versa, which I talk about a lot, so I won't get into that. But you'll see a community raise $2,000 to $10,000 sometimes. And there's no like post saying, "Hey, thank you," because like no one knows, but someone is still getting like a really nice email somewhere being like, oh my God, $8,000 just came in and blah, blah, blah. So yes and no, but I wouldn't, I don't know, I guess I'm explaining this because I would recommend not focusing on that too much, because as much as it can be a call to arms, it can also be a demoralizing factor. Like, imagine
Yeah.
if you raised $10,000. You struggled to make $800 for your rent this month, but you got a bunch of strangers online to raise $10,000, and your email is sitting unread in some guy's inbox. It might not be his fault. That company might have a lot going on. That doesn't mean anyone's dropped the ball, but that doesn't feel good. Even if you understand, that still doesn't feel good. So I wouldn't focus on that as much. It is nice when it happens, but it's not something to expect. It's about the mission to do the help. You've picked an organization you know is going to do good with that money. So the pat on the back isn't important.
Okay. So with the both of you, with Weaboo Weekend and Ministry as well, what keeps you guys motivated and going through what you're doing, you're trying to push and promote?
I would say a lot of factors. I generally I just have a big passion for event management. I love putting together events and then seeing everybody get to enjoy that event. When people come up and is like, wow, this event is so good, this is so fun, when's the next one? That really drives you forward. So like if you enjoy an event, find the staff, tell them how well they did, because that will get you more amazing events. Seriously, that's one big thing. Again, the passion for event management. I just like putting the stuff together. It's fun. It keeps my ADHD brain going. And just seeing the public's general excitement for an event, like with Weaboo Weekend, I've been receiving like a lot of like, oh, this is cool, I can't wait for it. I really love this idea. I love that you're passionate about it and stuff like that. And then if it's something like Weaboo Weekend, I love anime, games, and comics. I imagine if you're on Vrchat, most people do. But yeah, like, so I want to do something cool for it. It's helped shape my life, so I want to give back to it.
Okay. What about you?
Projects like Weaboo Weekend.
Mm.
The reason Ministry started, the reason why I do this, the reason why we love promoting so much is because of projects just like Weaboo Weekend, where someone who had a great time got inspired to get other people to have a great time, and 6 or 7 great times later, they have a project to try to provide great times for people they might not even interact with because of the scale. Being able to enjoy something like your favorite video game or your favorite TV show and a like-minded crowd of fans, and to do your own spin on it and then turn around and say, wow, we raised some money for something we believe in. That's what keeps, that's my motivation. That's Ministry's motivation, is literally projects like Weaboo Weekend, and why it's a privilege for us to get to work with them, and why we're super happy to be involved.
To touch on that, like some of my biggest inspirations were quite literally Virality, Gearfest, Slyfest, VCAT, and now even Project Community is inspiring me. Just seeing the amount of work that goes into these projects it's inspiring.
Okay. Last couple of questions before you start kind of wrapping this up is the names that you have in VRChat. Where'd you get it and why do you use it?
So funnily enough, I used to use my my IRL name, my dead name, backwards. I wanted to get away from that because I started getting more involved in some stuff, and I figured, well, maybe not like backwards dox yourself. And I'm actually a massive fan of cows. They're my favorite animal, so I wanted something with moo in it. And I wanted something cute. So I probably went through a dozen names before I decided Moomy was the one, and I've stuck with it.
What about you?
I ride a scooter at skate parks, and I'm really good at it, or I was when I wasn't 33. And I made an email because I like gaming called Gamingskoot, and it was Gamingskoot 27. And so I one day had to remove the 27 because I was being told I'd been here too long to have that bullshit in my name. and everyone that I didn't know would call me Gaming, and actual people who knew me would call me Scoot. So I said, okay, well maybe I don't want to turn around so fast if I hear Gaming. So I left Gaming, and now I'm Gamingskoot.
That's so funny. I didn't know you used to ride scooters at skate parks. I just started calling you
I'll send
Scooter
you a
Boy one
video.
day.
Banging a 3-whip 9 feet in the
I
air.
call
playing
God. He's
7
got
feet
so many
onto a bench
nicknames.
rail.
I call you Dr. Boss as well.
Can't be sus if you're convicted. By
No,
definition.
Seuss, Dr. Seuss Boss.
I stand what I.
You
by
say
what I
some
said.
really
I know the
poetic
life I'm about.
stuff. There was this one line I remember you were talking in a meeting and you just go, you were like, I don't care if your cat stole your car and drove it down the road over your dog. If something happened, let me know.
yeah.
And you just did it like
Yeah.
off the cuff.
I remember that one. I actually say that at like interviews. It's like, oh no, we got to call out of this one, guys. My dog is suing my cat because they framed him about biting the mailman. It's this whole thing. Feds are involved. I gotta go.
And the avatars you use in VRChat, what made you choose them? Why do you still use them? Is there anything about it that means anything?
Well, this is, funnily enough, this is only my third main I've ever had. I rocked cow stuff for so long, and then I just saw a friend with this one day, and I just really liked it, and I rolled with it, and to be honest, now I'm kind of stuck with it because everybody knows me for this, and I just end up like, at this point, I've become a walking billboard for any community, any community that I'm affiliated with, or that I like am on their staff teams. Anybody who's helped me out, like I've got Nyakoa here. They've taught me a lot about Blender and Unity, stuff like that. But yeah.
Ooh.
And I'm planning on the logos changing each year, just kind of keeping them fresh as I get more involved in some communities, and I kind of dip out of some.
Okay. I know we've heard yours before, Scoop, but Mask, would you mind repeating for those who haven't heard it?
Yeah. When I first got into VRChat, I popped into a Void Club looking for that good. I kept seeing a lot of, Second Life-esque stuff. I didn't play Second Life. I tried a few times. Wasn't my cup of tea, but I saw that RP value, and that led me to a Void Club and then AU, my first club. But anyways, while I was there, I saw someone flying around, and I was like, oh, that's so cool. And this guy walks up, and he's like, hey, you want a flying avatar? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, all right, well, don't release this yet. Don't give this to anyone. I didn't release it yet. And it was Captain Sean. It was this Demon Boy avatar that was SDK2. It was all Atlas to 1 mat. It was super nice. If you did devil horns, then the wings popped out and you could fly around. And I still have those wings. I gotta update them for this, but these horns are from that. And the whole demon thing kind of works because I will gaslight you into a better tomorrow. That's my whole job. I gaslight my homies into being proud of themselves when they don't want to be proud of themselves. So the demon thing kind of works. And ever since I was I don't know, old enough to think about it. I have very pronounced cheekbones. I have a very masculine figure, but if you put a woman's jacket on me, it fits very well, and I just love to ride that. So the female avatar kind of just works, and so now I'm, hi.
Well, thank you both for coming on and allowing us to hear about Weaboo Weekend and your backgrounds. I enjoyed hearing all of your history, so thank you very much for your time. It was an honor.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Thanks for having us. I'm glad I could come back again.
Well, I'm glad to hear from you again. And if anyone in the audience wishes to reach out and find you, Weaboo Weekend, or any of your projects, where can they go?
My Discord is pretty simple. It's just Moomy VT, the letters VT. You can also find me on Twitch at Moomy_VT. Twitter is Moomy VT, and Blue Sky, I think, is also Moomy VT. No, that's Moomy_VT. Yeah.
What about you? You want to shout anything out?
Keep up with Weaboo Weekend, and you'll be able to find us there.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that too. Oh, yeah, I completely forgot. Yeah, check out Weaboo Weekend on Twitter and Blue Sky as well. I was sitting here like looking at Scoot, like I forgot something. I know I did.
Yeah, they're gonna ask me like, I'm not gonna plug us. No, you want to find us? Find us at Weaboo Weekend.
Well,
Like,
thank you both very much again. And all of the links will be in the description for you to find. If you're to go down a bit on YouTube and go to description, show more, we have a section called guest links. Everything for Weaboo Weekend and Moomy here will be right there for you to find. One easy place. If you're in Spotify, same place, but in episode description, same label. Everything
we love
stays there.
Metaverse Degen. Let's go. I don't know why I forgot how to say it. Let's go.
Funny thing is, I forget it too,
Follow
and I've been
these
here for
guys.
years. Well, with that being said, I'd say something motivating at the end, but I'll just say follow Weaboo Weekend, and there's nothing wrong with charity. But that said, sometimes doing good by someone else will make you yourself feel good. So with that being said, keep that forward. Have a good one, folks. See you in the Metaverse.
Water. It's only ankle deep, goddammit. No, it's higher than that. It's knee deep in my case. Oh, at least I know one thing's getting cleaned. It's a stream of it all. No peeing in the pool. Oh, it's not a pool. It's just a goddamn fucking setup. I'm just a poor old raptor taking a bath because I can't afford a bathhouse. Yeah, those bastards take gold coins. I don't have gold coins. Hey, feet are wet. Wee, 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 wee. Mom's gonna be pissed. I forgot to take my coat off. She's gonna be pissed. Hey, at least I did the laundry for her. She don't have to worry about it no more.